Okay, hey. This is a small video. I guess this is kind of like a venting type thing. It's called Nervousness and Flattery. But this is gonna be just in the spirit of what those mean. In terms of those terms. I mean in terms of those words. For me, I have a very big nervousness of people. I it's hard for me to figure out their temperament. It's hard for me to figure out who they are. And for me, I like intimate relationships and intimate talks and responses, but it can be very challenging, especially online. But I do like talking online because I'm very opinionated. I have a lot of thoughts to talk about. So there's this little tick here. It's right next to this live, um, and it's like it it has your info, your live, the time, the subscribers, the people liked and stuff like that, and that is always kind of distracting because it's like if someone's there, it's like it's like someone I'm aware. I'm conscious, and I just learned this thing called the Hawthorne effect, where people can be when people know when people are aware, people are around. They start to overperform. They or I guess that's a good way to say it. They overperform. They perform more when they realize or are aware that someone is around. For me, I have a similar case. When I realize people are around, it's so strange to me because it's like I guess for me since I'm just a I'm a person who values his time. Um, I can be very talkative when I get to know somebody and I'm very comfortable with them, but at times I'm not. Um, it takes time for me to get to know people. And even though for me, I talk a lot. But again, that's just, I'm an introverted person. So that's just how I am. I have to be comfortable with somebody, in order to actually start expressing my opinion. Um, I was going to mention something, but I probably shouldn't. Um, and again, it's kind of like that. I'm like, but even as an introvert, I'm always mulling over stuff. I'm always thinking. Even when I'm talking to people, I'm thinking about stuff. But that's even when I'm talking to people as I'm hearing them, as I'm listening, I'm definitely mulling over things of what to properly say to be appropriate. And again, I whenever I'm aware, like I could be looking at my, and I guess that's probably a good reason why this thing is here, because it's definitely helpful to position. You can position this thing everywhere. So I guess that's a blessing in itself. So that would be something I can do next time. But it was just something that made me think like, um, I tend to be kind of afraid, just thinking like, damn it, am I saying something appropriate? And are people watching this? If they do, is it am I being repetitious? Again, I kind of run these things because I do them when I watch people's videos. I just I think about stuff. So if people are kind of like overdoing it, talking too much, things like that, maybe overplaying it, overselling, then I'm like, you could probably not do that. But again, I'm not a spring chicken like that. I mean, I am. I'm not old, not that old. Um, but it kind of makes me wonder, like my perceptions, my judgmental aspects, and my perceptions of what people may have in their judgments. I think I was a bully. I mean, not me. I was bullied. I was bullied a lot, and so I get self conscious at times with what I say and how I say it. Um, there was times where I talked too much, and you just have people talk over you because they talk to you, you talk back, and then talk you learn not to say so much because of because if it happens a lot and they talk over you, they don't really explain to you why that you're talking too much, or this method of communication is kind of like a teeter totter. We go back and forth, not really like a you say your point and then I say my point, and then it's like it's basically being respectful of each other's time while you communicate, and you try to attempt to, depending on the person, depending on how deep the conversation is, you could take time to express your opinion, and if you have that nervousness, of, eh, I think it's just lacking that understanding of the audience, the person you're talking to. Because if a person is very patient and they listen to you, feel free to express your opinion. But if that person is not as patient, then you need to learn to start adjusting to make your speech a little more concise, a little more clear and concise. And, it's an adjustment game. People are all different, and we all have different things that we consider to be comfortable. So it's just it's kind of like that. So for me, I like to do the same thing, like to do a similar thing where I'm just trying to keep note, but this is the internet. And because people are under the shroud of anonymity, you can't really be a person to a person who can tell what people's temperament are. If me, I don't really have that knowledge of editing where I'm jumping all over the place with these cuts. It would be nice, it'd be a little more concise. Um but that's just not currently where what I have currently. I can definitely attempt to learn, but I feel like that's going to take a long time, and that's why I would believe if you don't have a job, you could definitely spend that same amount of time um doing what the YouTubers do and edit or paying someone to edit, and that's a lot of work. Unless, especially if you don't know any shortcuts of how to do that, I'm pretty sure that's a lot of work. Um, so I guess that's it. I guess I just wanted to show my insecurity regarding that because, and also I'm thankful I did this because I now have a better way of doing it without being so self conscious about things. But I can just speak to the camera and just be honest and just try to be more considerate of people's time by trying to be a little more concise and clear with my message. But yeah, that's all I got. Thanks, appreciate it.